Hi there, Dead Idea Boy here, back with another video, and this time we will be looking at what caused me to get the 6-second penalty that you can see I'm driving around with here towards the end of the race. Yeah, I mean, in the current penalty climate, it's very difficult to get a penalty, but I've managed to get 6 seconds worth of penalties in quick succession. So we're going to have a look at what made me snap and pick up such a large group of penalties. And yeah, I don't know if I'm ashamed to say it, but I snapped, and we're going to see why that is the case. So firstly, I was live streaming at the time, so you can see in the bottom left there I have a little camera picture of myself. So if you are watching this video and you haven't seen one of my live streams, then you should subscribe, and you'll get a notification and you can come in, join in the chat. It's a fun stream to be in. The chat's always lively, friendly, so yeah, we'll always have a good laugh. So yeah, and it would also help. We're heading towards 1,000 subscribers. Currently sitting around 725 at the moment, so not too far to go. So if you haven't subscribed, then any subscription is very, very, very much appreciated. And also like the video if you like the video. So anyway, off we go. We're in P8, we're doing race C, round Suzuka in Group 3, which had been a really good race all week, for the most part. It was one of these circuits where there was a good variety of cars, although the GTR was probably the quickest, but I preferred the Porsche, just a solid, stable car, particularly through the S section, and if you could get into the slipstream of a faster car, then you could generally compete. Also, there was a number of different strategies that you could do in this race. I preferred to start off with the hard tyre, do 2 or 3 laps on the hard tyre and get into the pits, and you could usually undercut people who were staying out a little bit longer on the hard tyre. It did mean that your medium tyre was far more worn towards the end, but yeah, at least you've got the position to try and hold on to. So we come into the hairpin for the first time. I've got this German driver who got a little bit loose there. He slowed up much more than I expected because his back end was going away, and I tap his rear. He didn't lose it completely, thankfully, and I did feel, bad for making the contact, and I was intent on giving him this position back, but we go into Spoon here and we get shoved wide in by the Spanish driver Jose Spider, and the Portuguese driver then takes advantage and goes up the inside. So I was a little bit miffed at that, but I couldn't be overly unhappy because I was sort of guilty of tapping the German, but he's now behind me, so he didn't lose it. So I was then going to give him the spot back. I was intent on giving him it back after we went through Casio, so I didn't want to sort of lose speed and cause problems. So we go into the Casio here, and caught back up with Jose Spider. He's been overtaken by the Portuguese driver, so I look back though, and the German driver, you can see from the tail, we just got away from them. So I mean, I think he was struggling a little bit. So at this point I was like, oh well, it's a racing incident, I'll apologise afterwards and we'll just get on with it. So if you're watching this, I do apologise. But you can see here Jose Spider is not hanging about, and he just shoves the Portuguese driver off the track, and so I'm thinking to myself at this point, he's the danger driver in this race because he shoved me off at Spoon and then he's shoved the Portuguese driver off, so I'm already very wary of him. I think he must be on the medium tyre given the pace that he's picking up, and I think he was probably thinking he's on the mediums, he needs to get through the field as quickly as possible because he probably realised most of us ahead of him were on hard tyres. So, but that's the problem, if you start off in the mediums and most people are on hard tyres, you are going to struggle, but it doesn't give you the right to just shove drivers off the track simply because they're on a slower tyre. But Jose Spider didn't seem to think it was a problem, and yeah, proceeded to do that. But anyway, yeah, so here we are, position 7 now, and we're on the second lap. At this point, I have to say, we had a few people from the stream in this race, so beforehand we had obviously discussed what tyres we were using, etc., and we were obviously therefore very respectful of who we were driving against. For instance, Oscar, who is behind me at the moment, I've out-qualified him, but in the race he's just faster than me. We're both in the Porsche, but he's just driving the Porsche quicker than me round Suzuka. So hands up, he's quicker. He's got a quicker race pace. I maybe out-qualified myself slightly. However, what we did say was, I did say to Oscar was, look, if once you catch up with me and you get the chance to go past me, I won't fight it. I'll let you pass, and then I'll try and use your slipstream. So there was a little bit of team orders almost. A little bit of strategy in it, and we were in 2 or 3 lobbies. You can see Oscar's behind me getting into turn 1. I'm not going to fight it. Up he goes. So all is good there. Although he does get a little bit loose, but that's fine. It means I can stay with him for as long as I can. So yeah, this would maybe the 3rd or 4th race of the night, and it was like being in a sort of team where the drivers who were in my live stream. And then in this race, we were kind of working together to make our way through the field. So not, overly aggressive with each other. We were using each other's slipstreams, all that kind of thing. So it was a good little atmosphere going. Like I said, it felt like you were actually driving in a team. As we've got somebody going off on the left, and I think that may have been Deck.
Deck put Oscar off.
One of the stream regulars losing it on the GTR. He was having some fun races. He was either winning races or binning it. It was, it was either success or spectacular failure. But anyway, he's a very quick driver, Dick, so he knows I'm only having a laugh with him. But yeah, we've seen Oscar there going very deep at the hairpin. But again, I could have went for the move on him because he had went really wide. But I felt it better to, like I said, let him get back ahead and let me use his pace, which inevitably he did have in the race. So we're using his slipstream, and we're going to come down the back straight, try to make up as much ground as we can. Said Oscar not bothering to use the defensive line because he knows I'm not going to go for any savage overtakes on him. But so we're heading down here into the Casio triangle. I don't know if I brake late or he braked early, but I kind of accidentally lunge up the inside, so I kind of back out to make sure he stays ahead because it was an unintentional lunge. And at this point I then thought, nah, I'll go into the pits. So I pitted and come back out, and if we skip forward now onto lap 7, because nothing really happened after I came out of the pits from lap 4 to 7, we just kind of made our way through. You can see my lap times, we kind of set one of my fastest laps. I'm now on a medium tyre, and this is me now catching up with the next sort of group of drivers. So yeah, probably now is a good opportunity to thank everybody so far for the live streams, which are absolutely insane at the moment. The chat in them is just such a good laugh. So a big thanks to everybody who joins in the live streams. We've got a good bunch of regulars in there, and yeah, the channel it's just enjoyable what we do at the moment. So thanks so much to everybody who is contributing. As we can see the yellow flags out, and we can see Burst going backwards off there. So yeah, Burst was having a lot of trouble in this race. He just seemed to, I don't know, maybe he'd out-qualified himself, and he was a bit all over the place in a few races. So Burst, if you're watching, I think tyre management might be something to look at, because you look like you're burning through your tyres hell of a quick. We can see up ahead now, Kimi Vellicini, the driver at the centre of everything here. This was my first view first hand of what he was doing. You can see there, puts Jose Spider, his fellow countryman, into the barrier. Now, at this point, I'll be honest with you, I was actually thinking Jose Spider must have done something to him, because Jose Spider had, like I said, been very aggressive early on in the race with me and the Portuguese driver who just went past me in his GTR. And I'm thinking, well, maybe he's done something to Kimi, and Kimi's just taking revenge on him. And it was very, very aggressive. But I've got a run on Jose Spider now, and I've got a run on the Portuguese, but we tuck in behind the Portuguese driver, and Jose Spider, he gets the cut back on me. I'm giving him plenty of room. It doesn't give me a lot of room, but I'm a bit disappointed there that I didn't get the move done. But we'll tuck back in again, go through the S's and just try and stay with the pack. We've got KIMI up ahead there, who hasn't yet pitted, which was his strategy. And you'll see all this unfold in good time. So we're catching KIMI, whose tyres are now pretty worn, given that he's not pitted, and there he sends the Portuguese driver off onto the grass. We have to take avoidant action. Jose goes off on the left, Oscar dives up the right. A great move from Oscar, gets past basically 3 people through the Degners. So that was chaos. It was all caused by basically KIMI shoving off the Portuguese driver. So into the hairpin. We get round that. You can see in the radar behind us there was a little bit of coming together between a couple of the drivers, and we now have the opportunity to get the inside the spoon. So basically I'm going to go up the inside of Jose Spider at spoon, kind of repaying the favour, but I do it cleanly. So Jose, if you're watching, that's how you cleanly go up the inside at spoon and get a position. Now we can see up ahead we've got Oscar. Now Oscar is going to attempt to go by KIMI, and KIMI is going to do the same thing to Oscar. Now this is when it clicked. I now realised, and I had a little bit of a flashback to the lobby chat in the previous lobbies. I could see lots of drivers having words with KIMI, and I hadn't had any sightings of him in any of my previous races, so but I'm now understanding why they were having words with him. You can see he's brake checking Oscar there, and now I've got to run up the inside, and I know he's going to try and take me out, so I kind of started to turn into him, because I thought, well, if he's going to try and push me off, it's going to be difficult if I'm going to cross. But we're all basically now having a go at him because he's not letting anybody past him. So we had 3 drivers all kind of coming together to sort of team up.
Oscar as well.
And you can see Oscar get absolutely sent there. He was ghosted, so we go past Oscar again. But you can see 3 drivers there. Now we can't all be wrong. You know, we're all trying to get past him. But myself and the other Oscar and the other driver, we had all seen what had happened. We'd all been a victim of KIMI trying to shove us off the track whilst cleanly overtaking him. So I'll be honest with you, at this point, my anger levels were starting to reach boiling point, and yeah, it was just becoming apparent who the problem in this race was. Now remember, we're now on lap 9. He's still not pitted, and he's been, I think he got somebody basically took a bit of sort of revenge on him there and tried to take him off at the hairpin, but he manages to stay on the track, and that was the thing. His car seemed to be, it was almost had some sort of force field round about it. We just couldn't, shake him. So yeah, we're going to be seeing very, very shortly the moment where I snap. Now we've got the Spanish driver in front of us. Now I get the run up the inside here, but he starts shoving me, but he's kind of shoving me because he was getting shoved, and you can see KIMI just shoves him off the track as well. Now we've got Oscar. Oscar's now past us, and he's trying behind, but KIMI's just brake checking everybody now to try and stop them going past, and he's going to try and take Oscar out here, but I've had enough. He's not going to get the chance because, yeah, I snap and just go full on into him. I thought somebody's got to try and take some action, but as would happen, his car, the ghosting system did its job to an extent where it made the contact between me and him sort of minimal. You can see another 2 drivers out the race, basically because of KIMI, and I pick up a 2-second penalty. So yeah, it did its job to an extent where I made some contact but not enough, and he stayed on the track. So we see there the Portuguese driver getting sent off. We see, who's this? Yeah, that was KIMI getting sent off. Now they've now caught up, and I give him a nudge, but then I think, nah, I'm just going to tap you off here because you'll not recover from this, and off he goes onto the gravel. But I mean, I'm picking up now 6 seconds worth of penalties, but I'm going to be perfectly honest with you, it was worth it, and I would do it again, because that wasn't the first time. I mean, he's been apparently in this race all week doing the same things to every lobby, absolutely ruining them. So he's honestly the dirtiest driver I think I have ever had the misfortune to see in Gran Turismo Sport, and I include everyone in that. Now,
I've ever had in a race.
what we found later on is that, I mean, I don't know if he's a troll account or not, but he's in the lobby and he's not even like apologising or anything like that. He's just sort of hanging about in the lobby afterwards, waiting to see what people say to him. So I have absolutely no idea what his mindset is, what age he is, I mean, anything about him, but if it's not a troll account, I'd be amazed. He is also taking advantage of the fact there's next to no penalty system at the moment for doing the kind of manoeuvres that he is doing. So, yeah, you can see here one last binning by the Portuguese driver there. And we're going to come across the line in P14. So, yeah. Like I said, I would do the same thing again. I mean, he tried to take out, once he tried to take out Oscar, who was effectively almost like a teammate in this race. That was me. I was done. You can see though, it was look at the amount of British drivers there. We think we finished in the top, what was that, 9 places. Unusual. But anyway, let's have a look at KIMI. This is his charge sheet. So firstly, he takes off Rayan Shah, who again was another stream regular, so he takes him off. And also, can I just say, see, for that livery alone, he should be banned from the game. I mean, what the hell is that livery all about? I mean, it's bizarre. Anyway, so there's Deck going past him there, and he's blocking somebody going round 130R. You can see that now. He goes off there and onto the hairpin now, and he just absolutely smashes Deck off the track. Gets a little bit fortunate there, somebody just bins it in front of him. So that's 2 people he's smashed off so far. And that penalty he has, incidentally, is for cutting the Casio corners. That's not a penalty for hitting another driver. Check the replay to see what that penalty was for. Like I said, he just basically cut the chicane massively, because that's what he was doing, to try and catch up with drivers in front so he could wreck them, in effect. So he serves his penalty there, and somebody will attempt to go past him, I'm sure, down the right hand side, and he tries to take them off. It's wind, so yeah, that was the third act of absolute idiocy. And then he lunges Wind sees him coming though and backs out. So Wind now going to try and get up the inside, but he's going to block Wind off, and yeah, he's desperately trying to get past, and he manages to finally get up the inside and just shoves him back, so that he can't be shoved himself. And that's what I tried to do. I thought, I'm going to have to shove into him because he's going to try and shove me off, so it was the only way you could really, it was like fighting fire with fire. So Wind has now managed to get past and get away, and skipping on to the next one, he's going to try and kill somebody else here, I'm pretty sure. Here's Burst. Poor Burst. Burst tried to get up the inside, and, well, yeah, he ends up going backwards off at the hairpin. So, not 100% KIMI's fault, that one, but here we go. We see him again, try to put Jose Spider into the barrier. That was, like I said, when I first seen him having a go at somebody. So that's the 4th or 5th person he's tried to kill in the race so far. And here's Oscar. He's going to try and do the same thing to Oscar again. Yep, Oscar has to back out before he gets completely put into the wall as we go around 130R. And this might be where I try and take him out. Is it? No, maybe not. No, yeah, Oscar here tries again to get past, but he's just now blocking Oscar from trying to get past, and then you see me going up the other side. So he's trying to obviously shove me off. I'm trying to shove him back to try and stay on the track. And then we have the 3 of us now all basically boiling over with rage at him. You see him then, he tries to, well, he manages to get up to Oscar. Oscar kind of lost it there, so he managed to survive basically 3 drivers because we were all hitting him from either side and keeping him on the track, unfortunately. And there he is now, his countryman Macinus, he puts him off. So that's the 6th person he's killed Yeah, and then Oscar finally gets past him. Got us behind him, and I think this is the point where I lose blot and snap. Is it? Yes, it is. And as you can see, I go straight through him. So, bit of a fail there. He manages to keep his car on the track, unbelievably. And, like I said, it was just frustrating. You can see Jose Spider eventually gets some revenge on him and manages to send him off the grass. And this is the point where I'm going to catch back up with him. And by this point, I've already got a 2-second penalty, and I don't care anymore. So you'll see here, I managed to shove him off, and I only wish I hadn't managed to do that earlier in the race, so that he didn't get the opportunity to waste and ruin a race for an entire lobby. And do you know something? It didn't stop him coming back. He just continued to do this time and time again. You know, even I was watching other streams later on in the week, and he was in them, continuing to do the same thing. So I've no idea what his game plan was, because he finishes last in this race. He was never in the top 10 in any other race. Yeah, like I said, I can only assume it was some sort of troll account, and hopefully PD get wind of this driver out there ruining races and ban him, because a driver like that needs to be banned permanently. But it's good to see the GT community. We do like to rally on a villain, and we were all supporting each other, trying to take action on him in the lobbies. But it is what it is. So hopefully you enjoyed that video, and hopefully you don't judge me for snapping with KIMI. I think a lot of people would have done the same, but anyway. Thanks very much for watching the video. If you liked it, hit the like button. If you've not subscribed, then please do so. As I said, we're closing in on 1,000 subscriptions, and I'd love to see you in the live streams. The more new faces and that get chatting, the better. So I shall see you all on the next video, and enjoy the daily races this week. Goodbye.